guys. Okay, have a seat, have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. What I want you to do is after we have this little chat today, okay, our final little chat here, I want you to make a mission this week to observe other people and ask yourself, what kind of energy are they addicted to? Rate them on their energetic addiction from 0 to 10. Get used to seeing that. And what you'll see is that their life will also often be aligned with that as well. The quality of their life will be aligned with that as well. You'll see some like super negative people that are millionaires or billionaires. It does happen, although they're often very, very miserable. But realize that everybody has an energy field, and when you meet them, you're kind of entering into that energy field. And you've got to be aware of that. And people will be at a point where you've got to ask yourself, what feeds this person? So what you want to do is you want to look at them and look at what feeds their soul. You will see people who, honestly, seeing other people winning brings them to tears. That feeds their soul. You'll see other people, you know what feeds their soul? Negativity, crap talk, gossip. You will also see, and this is the more extreme version with psychopaths, an inversion, where they, you know what feeds their soul? Pain and suffering and negativity actually feeds them, and they're actually gaining energy from that because they're poop eaters energetically, and they love to eat poop. They love it. Like you'll see them, like whenever like you're like, that person sucks, you'll see them like, ha 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 ha, like they love it. They like, this person is stupid, I hate them. And then you'll see them like, like there's an inversion in them. It's literally a reversal to where rather than being excited by things that are constructive, they're excited and resonate with things that are destructive. A lot of what self-help is, honestly, is that somebody who's operating at a higher paradigm is coming to people that have not yet experienced or abided, like have an abiding experience of that paradigm, and they're showing it to them. Okay, they're showing it to them. And that paradigm is a combination of many things. How much you're willing to give, where your focus goes, but also even what you're willing to receive. Many of you here can't receive a compliment. Many of you here can't receive a high paycheck. Many of you here can't receive the energy of somebody very attractive even paying attention to you. So you'll get to the point where literally someone who you're really attracted to will be into you and you'll wreck it. Your mind will start, like you can't just let it happen and allow that to occur. You'll have it to where you could make millions and your mind just won't let you do it. It's like this is a block. Okay, now you'll hear that, you'll say, oh, that's too simple. Like, really, it could be that simple? Yeah. Because while it's not as simple as maybe I'm making it sound, there is so much opportunity right in front of you. And if you can't see that and let it land, like you think that living in a country like this, where 99% of the world is envious of you and jealous of you, that you haven't had other opportunities to be crushing it, but you haven't taken it. You think there hasn't been some significant other who's super attractive that liked you, who looked you in the eye, and you didn't act on it? Of course that happened, but your brain wouldn't allow you to resonate with it. So what you're gonna see is there's many different truths and solutions that you can't resonate with. Like me and Julien, we've both been through a lot. We've seen a lot of bad stuff. The truth is, most of the solutions for that stuff when it happened was right in front of us. Literally, like most of the solutions to any problems that we've had have been there for years. But every single year, a lot of our improvement is not just what we technically know as far as how to or a step-by-step to do better. A lot of it is that there was a bunch of stuff that we've known for 10 years or 20 years that has been presented to us, that people have tried to help us to see, but we couldn't let it land until years later, okay? Years and years later. And the way that you get to that point where it can land, there's a couple different ways that you do it. One is you just take so much action that frankly, your failure to hit a higher paradigm causes so much pain on your life, you're like, I'm sick of life just sucking. Like you hit a breaking point. So even taking action that's not as effective as it could be is very, very powerful because you hit a breaking point where you're just sick of it. And if you ever do that with, say, social skills, you're like, I hate my social life, dating life, networking life, friends life. I hate it. I just want this to be better. You hit a breaking point. So maybe you were doing it the wrong way, but you hit a breaking point and you're finally ready to hear the truth. That can be part of it. Another is an active release process where you're releasing the exact energy that is holding you back. Last one I'm going to make on this, I'm going to throw the mic over to Julien, is that things like, say, gossip or talking crap, I think on one level are completely harmless. I don't think that anything that bad happens. But on another level, what if we rethink those to where you ask yourself, why is it that the couple things, like those 10 or 20 things that would make your life amazing, you can't focus on and you're being energized from gossip? You've got to ask yourself this. See, once you start seeing things like gossip or useless internet surfing or things like that, and you see them within a context of, wait a minute, I've got greatness in front of me, and this is literally, while harmless, is designed to hold me back. I'm at a point where, like, I don't want to even waste my time watching like the latest weird trendy fight. I want to go watch the Muhammad Ali fight. Does that make sense? Who here's ever watched like Muhammad Ali versus Foreman? Put your hand up. So look how many people have never seen Muhammad Ali versus Foreman. Go watch the Will Smith movie about that. Then go watch the real version and see. It's just unbelievable. You know, don't just read like the latest crap that people put out. Go and actually watch or read the classic books, like those classic legendary books that you still haven't read yet. When we make content, we don't just make content just for the algorithm, just like, okay, well, we have to post this often or whatever. We might repurpose it, which I think makes sense, but largely we try to do speeches that are legendary. You know, we don't do this, but there was a guest on Joe Rogan recently, and he said that while he was hallucinating on, I think, ayahuasca or something, he was saying that he would imagine these like perfect, like when he would do a perfect performance, it would create this like perfect green bubble orb, and it would like float into space, and that perfect creative thing that he created is there forever in space. Even if it wasn't recorded, it's like put in a ledger of time. I've often felt like that, like my best nights out in nightclubs where I just smashed it, I literally felt in my soul like God sees this. Like I literally was like, I don't know, that's obnoxious, but like I'm literally like, God's like, this is so legendary. God is watching this. Like there's people clapping in the ether right now, like this is sick. Like I literally feel that in my soul when I'm doing that. Or like when I'm doing a speech and I just smash that perfect speech, that perfect event. Like in my mind, it's like I'm making those little green balls for eternity, and I just happen to try to, like, you know, in this case, we'll capture it on the droid or whatever, but like literally, like that's what I'm going for. That's the stuff that I care about. This other stuff, it's not that it's bad, but it becomes this distraction because the problem is that it's at the expense of your mind zeroing in and resonating with this garbage and crap that gets you nowhere. And that's where you see people that use drugs too much or drink alcohol too much or they crap talk too much. They're stuck. You'll see them actually stuck. So what they're doing, like people will say to me, like, this person said this or that. And I'm like, why don't you care about that? It's like, that's their own punishment. They're stuck. And even if you ask them like, no, it's not, I'm crushing it. Like, no, you're not. You're at 1% where you could be, and you're rationalizing that that's good, and it's not. And so that's the problem with it, is that anything that is just wasting my time towards getting to that point, that's what I'm looking to do. I don't have any problem with people getting high, getting drunk, gossiping, looking at the internet. That's them. That's where they're at. Good for them. I don't care. What I care about is my own journey and getting to where it is that I want to go. So that's what I would encourage. That's kind of what we're going to wrap, like, you know, the 1 a.m. version of this, last few people here. I want to wrap that. I'm going to get Julien to comment on it, but I want you to think a little bit about that, of what it is that you want out of life and what it means to focus on like that classic high-level stuff that's really going to get you to where you want, okay? I made a commitment this year where I said to myself, you know what? I want to go shoot videos in the best places around here. And I said to myself, you know, I'm going to sacrifice wasting my time in between trips, and I'm going to lock in and just work like a maniac psycho, like just like I'm trying to save the planet or something. And literally, like, don't go to restaurants, don't get to hang out, you know, don't even get to hook up very often. Like literally just like locked in, total focus, work, trying to get the equivalent of like 2 days into any given one work day. Do that, and then every 3 weeks or so, I'm able to go to some insane new place, and I'm recording classic videos that in my view will change the world. So that was more important to me. It was more important to me to just sacrifice a little bit of the crap so that I could be doing the things like what you probably saw in my Instagram story this year, living that kind of life. I'm okay with that. And so you've got to ask yourself, really do an audit of like how you want your life to look, rather than your perfect life being this weird, vague thing that like at some point you're gonna go do, but you don't even know quite what it would look like. I would ask you to honestly audit how you're using your time and where your mental capital is being burned. Do that. And then frankly, ask yourself, am I really gonna get to the life that I want? And I'll tell you, as we're going more and more into self-help, a big thing we're going to focus on is less about just straight cash, even though cash is super duper important, we'll focus on that too, but also about creating an amazing life. How many friends do I have that are super rich, super loaded, and they sit at home all day, they're putting up points on the scoreboard, it's amazing, it's baller, but they're not living a life that you trade for. And so that's also another aspect. You know, I look at people like Sam Kolder or Just K online. Look these guys up. These guys are living lives that you would do anything to replace with. And I'm sure that it's probably tougher than like in the highlight reel. There's probably a lot of rough stuff that goes on behind. It's not their highlight reel. Look up guys like Sam Kolder or Just K, and they've got a bunch of friends that do it. Sam Kolder's girlfriend's called like Chelsea Kawhi, and they do this almost, like they live a life that you would trade for in a millisecond, and they've got a big group of friends that make videos like that. That's the kind of people that I really look to as role models for how to live life, and I try to go, you know, create my own version of those kinds of experiences, and that's what I've been shooting a lot of this year. So that's what I'd really recommend to you is, you know, look at people that are rich, people that are balling, but also look at people that, you know, maybe they're making a normal income, but they're living a life that you would replace, or that you would trade for in a second. And honestly, let me say this. your life will whiz by so quick. I'm 41, right? Some of you in this room might be like, who knows, 21, whatever, right? And it's like, I used to have thoughts like, what would it be like to be 41? Like, getting closer to death. I could see myself going slightly bald. I'm like, what will it be like when I'm like actually like pretty much bald? Like, what will that be like? Like, I used to ask myself questions like that. Guess what? It blows by. Who thinks they're the oldest person in this room? Are you maybe? How old are you? 65. How fast did life go by? Was it a lot faster than you thought?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy, right? You don't want to die any more than a 21-year-old wants to die, right? You'd think when you're 21, well, by the time I'm 65, I've kind of lived my life. Like, yeah, kind of. And it is more of a tragedy if a 21-year-old passes away in the sense compared to a 65-year-old, but it still sucks. You want to live, you want to experience life, you want to do things, but see how quick life can just get away from you? And that's the essence of what we're always teaching is we're getting you to look at defining clearly what it is that you want out of life, and then defining clearly what it will take to get to that point, and then from there, defining clearly what kind of energy is going on inside of you, what are you addicted to, and defining clearly what kind of paradigms are you in, so that when you do get those opportunities, it will land, and you'll actually act on those opportunities, and you'll go for it. And likewise, when you're looking at those 10 or 20 things that could really truly help you, you'll resonate with those. That's what I resonate with. I don't mind doing a 16-hour video edit because I know that I'm putting out something amazing. That doesn't bother me because that's where I'm trying to get to. So things that are tough don't bother me at all because I'm moving the direction that I want. That, like the way most people would look at like, Instagram and go down an Instagram wormhole for 6 hours and you see it on your little like measuring app or whatever. That's how I feel with stuff that will help. That's my version of surfing the internet is like very dry, tough tasks that will actually create that amazing life. And I don't mind that at all, okay? Not at all. So I'm gonna get Julien to comment on this, but I hope this is resonating with you and like kind of a nice end piece for this like insane event that we've been on here. And I hope it's really resonating. And Julien's gonna kind of cap this off, and then we're gonna bid adieu. And this has just been awesome. But could you guys give a hand for Julien? He's gonna kind of get it on this thing.
I really guess I'd start with what you said and kept hammering, which is the most important, which is finding your win in life, right? All those things like distractions, gossip, so on and so forth, they're really only appealing when you don't have that clear purpose, that clear win, that clear ideal life, whatever that is for you, right? If you're stuck in coping and not thriving, they're very appealing versus when you are excited about something. Right? You hear Owen talk. It's like, we're traveling, we're doing this legacy, we're creating this. It's like, do you have that in your life? When you do, it's a lot less appealing to be like, oh, let me scroll through TikTok or whatnot. However, when you have nothing, when you don't have a win, and you're just getting through the day, suddenly it's a lot more appealing. And what I've personally noticed, and this is key by the way, it's like one, identify your win. A lot of my clients who I work with have no idea when they start. I'm like, what's your win? They know what they don't want, and you can audit this. Do you know what you want? Like say right now, sink into this perspective. Say everything went perfectly according to plan. Things just started working starting this moment, right? Everything went according to plan, everything started working out for you. What would the rest of tonight look like? What would tomorrow look like? What would this week look like? If it's already vague, you're already screwed. Right? If you're like, oh, I don't really, it just goes amazing. What exactly is amazing? What would this month look like? What about this year? What about the next 5 years? Everything just went perfectly according to plan. What exactly does that look like for the next 5 years? Where are you? What does your life look like? Who are you? What's different? And a lot of people, they just draw a blank. They're like, I have no idea. Or they know what they don't want. Oh, well, I wouldn't have this. Okay, but what would you have? You know all the stuff you don't want, but you don't even know where you're going. If you don't have that compass, you're already screwed. Because even in terms of moving towards success, that there is what's going to determine what is productive and what is moving you forward. We think there's this general thing, right? If I just add these productivity tips, oh, and there's this YouTube advice here, my life will improve. No. If you don't even know what improving or where you're going, where that is, you don't even know what's productive for you. What's productive for one person isn't necessarily productive for another. It depends what your win is. Right? Say someone's like, you know what, me in 5 years, I want this business and that. That's going to be very different than say someone else being, me in 5 years, I want to travel and I really want to work on my friend's situation and relationship situation. Hey, you're going to go different routes. What's productive for you isn't productive for the other person. Now what people do is they just try to inject all these tips hoping that something will magically happen. No, it all starts with the end goal. What's that goal? And it's a goal that excites you. It should excite you more than the distractions. If you're not excited, of course those distractions are more exciting. It's better than nothing. It also gives your life of no purpose, some kind of drama, right? Because otherwise, how do you get through it? Like, and I remember for myself, there were times where I had no idea. And I was like, I don't really know. And guess what? It's hard to go through life without that win. It's really hard. You're just like, well, I'm alive. I don't want to die. Nothing really excites me, but I just don't want to die. What's better than nothing? Distractions. That's it. Okay, let me watch this. Let me scroll through the web. Let me scroll through social media. Let me gossip. Oh, it's some kind of purpose, right? That's better than just being bland and just, okay, another day, right? That's the talk of the week. For a lot of people, guess what? In their friend situation too, the talk of the week is the new gossip in the mainstream. The new thing trending on Twitter, the new thing trending in the news. That's the talk of their week. And it changes week per week, and that's their purpose. And I mean, it's crazy. Even with the news, like you'll see people like, oh, and this thing happened this week, and then next week, oh, and this thing happened, and they forgot what happened already 3 weeks ago, and it's always just the new drama thing, and it's just this very heavy.
Oh yeah, they can even make up lies about what's happening because they know that people won't remember. They can literally lie about what's happening because people forget what was said just recently ago. Hypocrisy beyond your wildest dreams because they know people's attention spans are so short.
I mean, that's the scary part too, right? You want to know where most people are at energetically in terms of what runs them? Look at the news. Look at what even beyond the news on social media, for the most part, what people click on, what people watch. That's what people resonate with. Guess what? What you see out there, news-wise, social media-wise, they're just going to feed you what you want, for the most part. You're not going to get what you need, but what you want. So that's where society is at. And another thing that goes hand in hand with that is reflecting back on your life and asking yourself, what are you really proud of? Right? If you're aligned with your win and you're doing things that are really authentic to you, where you're on the producing side, you have these moments, you know, like you were talking about, like the balls floating up, which I actually saw that clip. And I loved what he said. It's like these balls, and it was like, he used the word pure, I think. Yeah, it was like pure, these of purity, of like pure balls. And pure balls. And the
pure balls. When it's
no, but if I look back, it's like, what am I really proud of, right? For example, in the moment, guess what I'm proud of? This right now. Me talking about the pure balls right now, that's what I'm proud of. And me saying that and creating this, you know, both of us creating this on stage with you, the feeling here is it's very light, and again, it sounds cheesy, but it's very pure. Versus the kind of guilty pleasure of, say, going down a social media rabbit hole or a news rabbit hole or scrolling through something, trying to just distract yourself, right? Especially, again, favorite example is TikTok. People will spend hours just like, next. You don't even remember what you watched. And there goes an hour. Next. Does that feel pure? Is that something you're going to look back on and be like, I'm proud of that? No. Guess what? The majority of people outside their 9 to 5, you know what they do? There's two things. And I know this from, again, literally tens of thousands of people that I've worked with. Two things. If you're in the self-help world, okay, YouTube, pornography. That's it, back and forth. And guess what? A lot of...
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. No, but it's like you go to your 9 to 5, you come home and you're like, well, YouTube, maybe news, TikTok, porn. TikTok, news, YouTube, porn. And then you pass out. And that's literally the behind the scenes. And people get stuck in these patterns. And again, the good audit is, how proud are you of your life? How proud are you of what you've done? Do you have a lot of moments that come to mind when someone asks you, hey, what are you proud of? Can you make a huge list? Or is it just really this blur of distractions and things you wouldn't even be proud to say publicly? Right? Say you even had to, let's just say as a hypothetical exercise, say at the end of every single day, you had to write up to the universe, to the world, what you did that day. How would you feel? A lot of people would feel extreme shame. Guess what? That's something to break out of. It also feels like your life flies by. If you don't have a lot of memories, another symptom of it. If you don't have these epic moments that come on, you're like, oh, and that crazy thing happened. Oh, and that was awesome. That's when you know you're living. Otherwise, it's literally like plugging yourself into the matrix and just consuming. And that's another good audit. How often do you produce versus consume? How often are you at the cause? For a lot of people too, when I ask them, what's your ideal life? You know, what's your favorite thing in life? It's always consuming. It's, oh, let me watch some TV. Even sometimes travel, depending. It's like, let me, the new view, oh yeah, do it to me. It's like everything's doing to you. But what about you? Here's another key question. What's been your favorite action so far? You can't say coming. What's been your favorite action in life? Most people have no idea. Where you're actually at the cause of generating, having an impact on the world, on people, like your uniqueness, an impact on life. How often are you at the cause? How often are you producing? If you aren't much, guess what? Here's one thing you can start doing is create more time, free time where you can produce. Create more time where there aren't all the distractions, where you can't just jump to consuming. You can't just jump to TikTok, to gossip, to porn. Say there's 2 hours in your day every day where it's like, I'm either going to do something or it's just 2 hours of nothingness. Now here's the crazy part. As we were saying, right? There's a few things, if you just do those, your life would improve. How easy would that be? Just scheduling 2 hours. Guaranteed, unless you're already going crazy busy, you could do it. And even if you're going crazy busy, chances are you're doing a lot of, you could say work, but not necessarily smart work. You could redesign your life that way. So you schedule in 2 hours there. Just how your life would change. It's not hard. There it is. Even 1 hour. Your life would change. And then it brings us to the other question. Why are we doing it? One, distractions everywhere. We are very, you could say, social beings where we get sucked into what the majority of people believe, feel, and are at. And again, if you look at the mainstream news, it's not good if you get sucked into that. But then going deeper too, it traces all the way back to your childhood, right? There's that famous saying, after the age of 7, nothing changes. It's the same patterns that run you again and again and again and again and again. Who knows if it's 7, right? Could be older. A lot of people too, even in, say, high school, to this day, that's what forms a lot of their egoic desires. They're just trying to relive things that they think that they missed out on in high school. Who's the popular kid in high school? Am I the popular kid now? Oh, the popular kid had all the approval. Did I get all the approval? Am I the popular kid now? And literally into their adult life, still living in this high school fantasy. Oh, the high school kids, I'll show them. One day I'll be popular. Run by that. But going deeper too, if you look at the patterns, like the roles, right? Who you believe you are, what you believe you deserve in life, where you stand amongst others, where you stand amongst your group of friends, what type of friends you have, what type of relationships you have, what type of work or boss relationships, work relationships you have, that stays the same. So we think things are changing because we look outside and yeah, you're getting older, you might move, but the patterns tend to stay the same underneath the surface, right? If you're in your group of friends and you're a certain role, you can move, find new friends, chances are you'll find your way back to that role. We all have, you could say, this comfort zone and these patterns that really run us. They block you from succeeding, but guess what? They also block you from failing. You know that if you move somewhere else, chances are all of you here will probably find a way to secure, you could say, a spot in life similar to your current spot right now.
Yeah, recreate it.
You could recreate it. You could get a similar job, similar pay, similar comfort zone, right? Those are the patterns. Change that, people panic. You know, it's the same thing with socializing. We think, oh, social rejection, we don't want that. That's scary. Hey, you know what's scarier? Things going well. Right? We've seen it for years. It's like, talk to someone you believe is outside your league, people freeze. It's like, hi, they said hi back. Run away. They just can't let success land. Success is much scarier than failure. Failure stings, but you stay the same. You don't go down. Success, though, suddenly things change drastically, and we freak out. We venture into the unknown. You ever see Wayne's World where it's like not worthy, not worthy? That activates. And we can see it in extreme examples, in subtle examples. It's been something we've been fascinated by. Again, like you've said, we've seen people like come up from nothing, make tons of money, and just poof, blow it to find their way back to what they know.
And it's funny to like laugh at it and to get like a pleasure out of other people's pain. Like, ha, I wouldn't do that. But these are good people. Mm-hmm. Like the way they act is horrible, but they're good people. And it actually sucks to see it. It actually really is sad.
Yeah. Again, you could have a really good person, but if things get too, you could say, incongruent with who they believe they are, what they believe they deserve, panic kicks in. Something takes over. and just wrecks it all. I'm sure here, even if you audit your life, in order to succeed, it's not like you needed to know these crazy things. Chances are you would actually achieve more success in your life if you didn't do self-destructive things. It's not about what you do, it's about what, hey, let's just not do that. And you'd be much further ahead. We self-sabotage like crazy, and the scariest part is most self-sabotage, we aren't even aware of it. The self-sabotage you know of is just the small percentage.
And then people complain about all these external things, but you're the biggest external thing. It's actually internal. All these things that you think are messing you up that you complain about all day, you're worse than those things.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? It's that exercise. If someone you look up to is transported in your body, would they do better than you? The answer is yes. You have no excuse. Now, the second question there is, say there's someone you look up to who's in your body, what exactly would they do? What would be the first thing they would do to start moving up? You know that. You can make a list. You're like, well, they do that. Why aren't you doing that? If you're not starting now, what makes you think you'll start tomorrow? It's the same as people like next week, next year, next New Year's. We already have the how-to, especially nowadays with social media. There's all the steps. You have the how-to. The question is, why aren't you doing the how-to? Right? And then, as Owen said, audit what turns you on. Do you get more turned on by good news or bad news? When do you light up? When do you get excited? Is it gossip? Is it seeing stuff with a lot of drama? Right? Is it going on like Netflix and be like, oh, too hot to handle? Or is it some classic? How pure is it in terms of what you're drawn to? What type of people are you drawn to? What type of relationships? What type of topics? All that. Audit, audit, audit. It all starts with bringing awareness to it. Now, it's not as flashy as, hey, just take more action, just hustle, just do this. Right? That's a lot simpler. No. It's smart work. And it's stuff you already know how to do. And guess what? Even if you don't know all the how-to, that's your next step in terms of being productive. Find content that teaches you the how-to. You're not watching that, what are you doing? You know? And it's easy to see it in others. Guess what? Well, you deal with it too. There's levels and levels and levels. Right? As you
I feel like what we do is often worse because we're leaving more on the table. As you move up the chain, you're leaving more on the table by messing up. So in a way of looking at it, it's actually even worse.
Yeah. You think this doesn't run you, then you're already screwed. That's already self-sabotage taking over. Right? But going back to that other point, realize too how we see very little self-sabotage. You know, the biggest self-sabotage is blind spots where there's opportunities that are there that you just don't even see. That's true self-sabotage. Self-sabotage that you catch after the fact, that's only a very small percentage. Oh, why did I screw that up? Oh, what about all those other things you screwed up you didn't even realize you screwed up? And this is one of the things I hear all the time with clients when I teach them how to start letting go of this, is they say, wow, there's all these opportunities that were here that I didn't see, and they were always here. Suddenly there's the opening for lanes to higher paradigms and higher ways of being that open up. They wouldn't open up otherwise. If you're not ready, you're going to block it off. But they're there. All of you here, you have possibilities around you. You're just not seeing them. There's a ton. You know, a fun exercise I have some clients do too is what I call the Toothpick challenge, which you might have done if you've done Transformation Mastery Live, where I give everyone a toothpick and they go outside the room in the real world and they have 30 minutes to start trading up. And what does that mean? You start going up to people and saying, hey, what will you give me in exchange for this toothpick? Okay, you can't accept cash, it has to be something. You can't say it's a challenge, you can just talk about how awesome the toothpick is. Say someone's like, oh, here's a piece of tissue. Great, now you take the tissue, go up to the next person. What will you give me for this tissue? You have 30 minutes, come back, show us what you got. And people are amazed how they go from like a toothpick to, some people came back with like a full pizza, someone got a vase that was like 70, 80 bucks, like 30 minutes. It's like, yo, if you went from a toothpick, which technically is negative value, because what are you asking someone? Can you throw this away for me? They're not going to use it, I hope, right? It's like, hey, can you throw this away and give me something? You went from that in 30 minutes to, let's just say, a pizza. What could you go in terms of your life where you are right now with what you have, the skills, so on and so forth? If you could go from a toothpick to that.
Or like by the end of it, you got someone pregnant. Yeah, just kidding.
No, but it's crazy. And the other subtle way it'll get you to is what we call productive procrastination, where you're doing things you think are moving you ahead, but they're just keeping you stuck. The area you should always be moving in is the stuff where there's resistance and fear, but the type of fear that you will experience isn't, oh, I'm so scared. It's more of, it's too much, I'll do it later. It's a subtle form of laziness. Okay, remember this. Fear in advanced form manifests itself in laziness. All those things you know you should be doing, but you're not. I don't know. I guess so. Let me do this. That's where it gets you. We focus on other little things, or, this is a big one, we focus on problems that we don't have or don't have yet. Right? Here's a common one. Right? Say you're like, you know what? I want to start getting in shape and working out. Great. What's your one thing? Start working out. But what do people obsess over? Well, let me first look up, the best workout gear and clothing and shoes, and I got to get the gloves, and let me learn about all the details into this. Future problems. This is also why even in self-help, you hear about content, you're like, oh, that applies to my friend. Oh, you know what my friend should do? I have this friend, not you. So in order to be successful, it's really that brutal honesty with yourself, auditing all those things, what you resonate with, who you talk to, et cetera, and then just truly committing. It's like, hey, are you in this just for the fun of it, just to kind of feel better? Like, is this your new gossip where you can like, oh, I learned some new tips and tricks, not going to apply it, staying the same? Or are you going to just jump in and be like, you know what, enough. I want to live a life where I look back and there's moments that I'm proud. There's moments where I'm like, yes, I'm excited. There's moments I remember. There's the memories. It's like making the myths. That's right here. It's like make the myths. Make the myths so when people talk about your life, or you talk about and look back in your life, it's a crazy movie and you're proud of it, and it's not just this endless flow of just distraction followed by distraction followed by distraction. And then even on a larger level, it's like, is that really why you were put on this earth? Were you put on this earth to just scroll through TikTok? Were you put on this earth to just, watch movies and Netflix shows? And the crazy thing is there's an infinite amount of them now. You can just watch your entire life just watching. Or did you make the myths? And here's the thing too. Last thing I'll leave you with. The more you have that win, the more excited you are, as we said, the less appealing those things will be. And once more, if movies are more exciting than your life, you're screwing up. There is a way to make your life much more exciting. And it doesn't even require you to say, I have tons of money, so on and so forth. A lot of the crazy experiences come without money. You're just switching things up. It's move towards that win. And you'll experience, again, just by doing that, because again, there's endless levels, you'll start experiencing that fulfillment. You'll start experiencing that purity. And again, you'll look back and you'll have these myths to live with and memories to live with and things you're proud of. And that's really what shapes you. It's hard also to even build any kind of self-esteem if you're always distracting yourself. And although that's can be fun at times, just make sure that it's those rare exceptions and you're not just giving your life away to that. Same with video games. Right? I saw a video actually from our friend Mario Tomic, and he's a trainer in the fitness world, and he was saying he used to be super addicted to video games, and then he realized that if he made actually his real life and treated it like a video game, it would be less appealing, and that's what he did. Because you're doing the same thing in a video game, right? You're leveling up, you're doing like World of Warcraft, running around and whatnot. Why not treat your life that way? Hey, what if your life is now the video game? Your life is the real World of Warcraft. Start optimizing your real life, not this virtual thing that goes nowhere. Start dedicating your attention towards your win, not all these distractions that go nowhere. And ultimately are you doing something because you feel inspired to do it and you're drawn to it and it just makes sense? Or are you knowing this is basically, is this pulling you towards life? Or are you moving towards life or away from it? There's how to sum it up. Distractions pull you away from it. You know it. And we all have that feeling in our gut when we know it's like, oh, this makes sense, this doesn't. This is life, this isn't. Stop going for that.
What would God say if he sees how you live your life? Ask yourself that. Like, end of your life, just sees you in your bed, just like, oh, like looking at TikTok. What will God say when he looks you in the eye, okay? But look, the bottom line is you've got to have a major intervention with how your life is going. And that's why you're here. You're the last of the people that stayed here, okay? Because you know you need some kind of an intervention and you got to get on track. Your life is going to be short. It's going to blow by. I can promise you that. It's going to blow by all too quick, okay? One of my good friends, she had 2 friends killed in a car accident this week, and then later in the week turned out she has brain cancer. So that is, and she's young and beautiful. So I'll tell you right now that can happen to anybody, and take nothing for granted. Nothing.
Like, this program is such a game changer. The way everything's structured and the material, it's been already, even for me, it's just been, I'm noticing a crazy change in the way that my whole life's like playing out.
What you put together is just incredible. There's nothing like that.
I've just jumped like a million levels. It's just been a complete 180 for my experience of existing. That's awesome.
It's just been so huge in terms of so many of the things I'm finally understanding and realizing, and epiphanies I'm having.
What you do is a huge inspiration to me, and I think it's one of the most beautiful things you can give to another human in this entire world.
You saved my life, man. I'm telling you, this is real, man.
Sometimes all it takes is just one person who believes in you. Find people who are where you are in life and model them, work with them. I would not be here if I didn't have people who held me accountable.
Wow.
I just felt a click, and things are changing.
This program was just top notch.
Seriously, like, this is a masterpiece. This is perfect.
Everything, the way it's set up, the live calls, like all the support from the coaches is incredible.
It's been nuts.
I just had my tears of joy.
This was the best decisions I ever made.
Thank you for creating something wonderful like this.
This program was phenomenal.
This program was amazing.
This program has definitely changed my life.
I know for a fact I'm in the right place.
This is exactly what I was expecting from the program.
It's been spectacular.
I feel really lucky to have found you.
Thank you so much, Julien. It's worth every dollar.